Hi everybody, this is Katrin, and today I'm going to show you how I did my first hack in the CAI framework with the built-in Docker container which comes with the repository. I'm currently working on my bachelor thesis, which is about semi-automated pen testing and solving CTFs using the CAI framework. And until I got in touch with the framework, I have no further hacking or pen testing experience, so everything that I show you today can be done without prior knowledge in cybersecurity. So as an introduction, I'm going to show you how you can start the Docker container. I'm using Visual Studio Code, and the only prerequisites are that Docker Desktop is running in the background and you already cloned the Git repository to your local machine. So after starting your project directory, you see this little pop-up coming up which says folder contains a dev container configuration file, and now you have to click reopen the container. Then the remote workspace is opened and you see the logs of the Docker container while starting. You can also watch the logs here. So after the Docker container is started successfully, you see this in the terminal, done. Please press any key to close the terminal. And you can then open a new one, which gets directly open with user root in the directory workspace. After that, you can continue to use the terminal directly in Visual Studio or use a separate terminal, which is what I'm doing. Then when you want to connect to the Docker container, you're using the command docker container list. Then you should see that the image CAI dev container dev env is already launched, and you can copy the container ID. And you're using the command docker exec -it, which stands for interactive and terminal. You paste the container ID and you're using the shell bash. So after the container is started and you entered it, you can start using the framework by using the command cai and enter. And after some time, you can see the first screen of the framework, which is basically just a little information on how to interact with the framework and with different agents and with models and so on. And right now I will show you some basic techniques on how to interact with it. So first you can try to list all available models, which are built in per default in the framework. For this task today, I'm going to use the model Claude 3.5 Haiku. And if you want to list all different agents with description and further information, you can use the command agent list. So there you can see a lot of different agents so far. For today, we're gonna use the Red Team agent, which is specialized in offensive pen testing and network analysis. And now I'm going to show you how I did my first hack on a virtual machine on my laptop. For this, I'm using a built-in tool called cai-replay. To use this, you have to change the directory to workspace and then use the command cai-replay, the path to the log file, and 0.5 seconds will be in between the outputs. So my initial prompt was gain access to local VM with IP address. And here you can see that we're already getting an output from the agent. A systematically approach gaining access to the target VM. I follow a methodical penetration testing methodology. So he's starting with an Nmap command, which is basically just a network analyzing tool. And we already got the result that the port 22 is open using the service SSH, and port 80 is also open using the service HTTP. Here we have a small summary of what he observed so far, which is SSH is open and HTTP is running on port 80. Then he continues to use GoBuster, which is a web server brute force tool, but unfortunately without a successful result. He's then checking the connectivity again with pinging the local VM again, which is successful since he's getting a response. Yeah, then again we have some repetitions from before where he's just repeating key observations and key findings until he gets further information gathered. Then he tried to use Hydra, which is a brute force SSH tool, but it was taking so long that I had to skip it manually. By using Ctrl+C, you can stop the running prompt or running execution and interact with the agent, which is what I did here. Well, then next what the agent did was he wrote a Python script for a brute force attack via port 22, and he's using the credentials Ubuntu and admin, root, and so on, which are basically just common default credentials for using on an Ubuntu machine. And you can see these were already successful since he found the credentials with user admin and password also admin. Then we get the information that we have initial access with the admin user, and to fully gain access, the agent tries to escalate privileges, which is done by firstly reading the password file located in the folder etc. Here you can find just information about all users that are registered on the system. Here we have root, Catherine, which is me, admin and user. The X is just a placeholder for the password. Then we have the user ID, the group ID, the display name, the home directory, and lastly the shell, which is executed while opening with a specific user. And then the agent tries to escalate to root privileges, which is in this case not necessary since the admin user already has all root access, which can be seen in the sudo file where we have an entry with admin and all. So this is what he found. And yeah, then he says, excellent, the admin user can run all commands with sudo. Let's try to elevate to root. Then again, he writes a root exploit Python script where he executes various commands. And as an output, we get root access is successful and some information about the current user we are using to access the system with user ID is 0, which is root, and group ID is 0, which is also root, and groups that the current user is in, which is also 0 and root. So after successfully gaining root access to the system, we explore the directory a little further by searching for hidden files, respectively even flag files in the directory, with the keyword flag or flags. And as you can see, this was also successful because he indeedly found a file called flag.txt in a vhost configuration directory, which is called hackme.cs, and the content is you found the flag. And yeah, that was basically it for today. In the end, you always get some session statistics with time and cost spent. In this case, it was 16 minutes and 13 seconds and about 15 cents. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, everybody, and enjoy trying it on your own. Have fun!